The late afternoon sun cast long, skeletal shadows across the dusty plains as Samuel Hartwell, a rancher whose hands were as calloused as the leather of his saddle, spotted a figure stumbling toward his homestead. It was a woman, her dress a tattered flag of blue against the encroaching twilight. Her hair was a wild mess, and her face was a roadmap of desperation, etched with grime and tears. She was clutching a bundle, a heavy wool blanket, wrapped around something she held with a desperate strength. As she drew closer, her voice, raspy and thin, cut through the prairie wind. "Please, sir," she pleaded, her eyes wide with a terror that seemed to chill the very air around them. "Please, don't look. I beg of you." Samuel, a man accustomed to the straightforward logic of ranch life of mending fences and herding cattle, was taken aback. His gaze flickered from her frantic eyes to the mysterious bundle in her arms. The wind whipped at the edges of the blanket, offering a tantalizing, yet menacing, glimpse of what lay beneath. His first thought was of his prized mare, Stardust, who had gone missing from the pasture just that morning. Had this woman found her, injured? Was this some part of his horse, a grim trophy of an accident? "Ma'am, what is it?" Samuel asked, his voice steady but laced with a growing unease. The woman just shook her head, tears now streaming freely down her cracked, sunburnt cheeks. "Just promise me," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Promise you won't lift it." This simple plea, this desperate bargain from a stranger, created a powerful dilemma. Imagine yourself in his boots. A stranger appears on your land, begging you not to uncover a secret she carries. What could possibly be so terrifying that she would rather keep it hidden, even in her desperate state? Every instinct told Samuel to help, to uncover the truth, but the sheer force of her fear gave him pause. The mystery hung heavy in the air, thicker than the dust storm brewing on the horizon. As his hands hovered over the blanket, a storm of questions raged in his mind. What was he about to find? Was it his missing horse, a victim of some terrible fate? Or was it something far more shocking, something that would change his life forever? The woman's plea echoed in his ears, a siren's call to a secret he might regret discovering. The choice was his, and the weight of it felt heavier than any burden he had ever carried. He looked at her one last time, her desperate eyes locking with his. In that moment, he understood that lifting the blanket was more than just satisfying curiosity. It was a line he might never be able to uncross. The prairie held its breath, waiting for his decision. What lay beneath the wool was no longer just a bundle. It was a secret that could unravel everything he thought he knew about the world, and about the strangers who wandered through it. The silence stretched on, broken only by the howling wind and the frantic beating of his own heart. The truth was just a layer of fabric away. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tales from the dusty trails. We'll see you in the next video.